Today's video might be a little controversial because I'm talking about why antidepressants are not the answer to mental health challenges. There's a lot to talk about, so get settled and let's talk about mental health. Hello and welcome, I'm Jeremy Godwin, and this week I'm talking about why antidepressants are not the answer to mental health challenges. So, it'd be great if we could just pop a pill and magically fix everything, but life does not work that way. And I preface this whole conversation by saying that I would not be here today were it not for antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication. They got me through the worst of my depression and anxiety, and they helped me through some of the darkest times of my entire life. And I say that absolutely wholeheartedly. However, there's a couple of things that we need to take into account when it comes to medication in general around mental health. First of all, most medication is not a one-size-fits-all, and so if you are considering antidepressants or taking antidepressants, you may or may not be aware that you often have to go through different types of medication or different dosage levels to find one that potentially will work for you. The second thing is that most antidepressants have massive side effects. In my case, it was massive weight gain through my eating out. I've talked before about all different types of things. I had brain fog, loss of libido, all of these different things, just loss of energy and loss of focus. And it was really hard. And mind you, I was taking them at a time that I was doing a degree. So trying to do things like learn research methods and statistics for psychology was like trying to speak Swahili when I had no kind of guidebook or anything. It was just ridiculous. So anyway, my point here is that there's massive side effects, and some of them are mild and some of them are quite serious. And so it's important for anybody that you make an informed decision about what is appropriate. But here's the main point that I want to make today. Antidepressants are something that, I don't know about other countries, but here in Australia at least, I know that some doctors might find it easier to prescribe antidepressants, or it may have just become a lot more common these days for people to be taking antidepressants. And the problem that I have with that is that antidepressants on their own will not fix everything, because they address the biological side, but they don't address the emotional side in terms of the things that actually contribute towards conditions like depression and anxiety. So depression, let's use that as the example. Depression can be situational, so it's about things going on in your life and around you and within you. It can be biological, so it can be in terms of a chemical imbalance in your mind, or it can quite often be a case of both. Antidepressants don't deal with the emotional. They only deal with the chemical imbalance side. And so if you are taking any kind of medication to address issues like depression and anxiety, you need to also be addressing the emotional side. And that's the bit that terrifies the absolute hell out of people, because quite often it's easier to take a pill and just suppress that stuff without actually dealing with it. And the problem with that is it will, at some point, in some shape or form, come back and bite you in the backside. Because when problems and issues are left undealt with, they have a tendency of coming back and creating more issues and problems later on down the track. When it comes to underlying emotional issues, we need to confront them, accept them, work through them, and find healthy ways to move forward. Now, you don't have to do that on your own. You can work with a therapist or counselor to do that. You can work in group counseling, all of these different types of avenues. But then there is also a massive piece, which is that for you as an individual, it's about doing the work every single day to actually uncover that stuff, find ways of moving forward, confront things and deal with them and move forward. The thing that I kind of want to get across to everybody here is that you don't have to go through those things alone, and nor should you. But also, you can't just abdicate responsibility entirely to somebody or something else. A pill, a doctor, or a therapist or counselor is not going to resolve everything for you, because your mental health is about you and what's going on in here, okay? So people can't get into your head and change things around. Only you can do that. And the great news is that by doing regular work on a daily basis, on an ongoing basis, regular structured work on addressing challenges and looking at how you actually improve your mental health and well-being, you actually create new pathways in your brain, you create new learning opportunities, and it helps you to find ways to celebrate today and move forward in a more positive way. But it takes work. It takes time, effort, and perseverance. It's not an overnight process, and popping a pill is not going to magically change that. I'm really sorry to break it to you. It is what it is. So that's part of what I do on Let's Talk About Mental Health, the podcast, and also this video every single week, is very much about being able to say, okay, so here is some stuff that you can do to chip away and to slowly build a foundation of better mental health and well-being. For all of you, I would be recommending that at least once a week you are listening to or watching different things, at least probably 3 to 5 different things that help you to identify ways to move forward with your mental health and well-being, to address challenges in the here and now, to let go of the past, and to be able to plan for the future but live for today. So whatever you choose to do is completely up to you. Obviously, I provide this content on a weekly basis. I do the videos every Wednesday, and I do the podcast on totally different subjects every Sunday. That's stuff that you can listen to. It's short, sharp, easy to digest. And then the piece there is about how do you actually take that and apply it for yourself on a day-to-day basis. But whatever you do, whether it's my stuff or somebody else's or a combination of both, do something. Don't rely wholly and solely on just medication to resolve all of your challenges, because it will potentially come back and bite you in the backside at some point later on down the track. So whatever works for you, you do that, but do something. So that's it for this week. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Catch the Let's Talk About Mental Health podcast every Sunday for a deeper look at how to improve your mental health, and watch this video next for 10 things that you can do every day to improve your mental health. Thanks for joining me, take care, and talk to you next time. Watch new episodes every Wednesday, and catch the Let's Talk About Mental Health podcast every Sunday. For more, visit letstalkaboutmentalhealth.com.au.